Boom. Boom.
Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Bird, Nick, and with me via Zoom, we have Trey Mac Shipley, Aladino guy extraordinaire. How the hell are you doing, Trey?
Doing good. What's up, my people?
Not much, not much. Except I've got a nice special cigar here for today.
Oh, I'm glad you do.
I have the new Aladino Sumatra. Is that what we're calling this?
Yeah, man. Hope you get some KY jelly nearby.
Why?
You might might need it.
Oh. Is this like the Bud Light of cigars?
No, not like that. No.
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
I mean, you don't have to use Astroglide when you touch yourself, but I'm thinking you might.
Okay, all right. I'm like, wait a minute. Why do I need that? Okay.
No. I mean, you can go dry. That's fine, but
okay.
Trust me, this cigar, I am so pumped.
Yeah. Well, tell me about. I would say I
jealous.
I literally got 2 of these and from Aladino, which was very wonderful and kind. And but there was no information with the cigar. So like, other than the fact that I believe it's a Sumatra wrapper, correct?
That is correct.
I know jack shit about it. So why don't you tell me a little bit about this one?
Okay. Well, first, now you've had a Sumatra from us in the past. You've had the lounge cigar. Correct?
I don't think I've had your lounge cigar.
No, had the lounge.
Well, no, I haven't had the lounge cigar.
Fix that.
Yeah.
So yeah, back in January, we were working on some blends with Sumatra.
Yeah.
And one of them turned into a lighter colored Sumatra that became the lounge cigar, and then another one became this darker Sumatra that we're doing as this fall limited edition release. Take a look at the foot of that cigar. Tell me what you think about. Does it look good down there? You got any?
It does. There's a little swirl.
A nice little cookie.
Yeah, this is good. It's good. I'm looking forward to lighting this thing up.
Yeah. The Corojo cookies are coming, boys. The Corojo cookies are coming.
Well, it's time I go ahead and cut the cigar. And well, what are you smoking though? Are you smoking one of these or
no? Sadly, you're getting a sneak peek. They're not released yet. You know, in the next couple of weeks they'll be hitting shelves.
Yeah.
But you're getting a little sneak peek before everybody. I have to wait, just like the rest of the country. So I'm actually going to be smoking a little Trey Mac experiment.
Ooh, a Trey Mac experiment.
Yep.
Okay.
This could blow up on me. I don't know. I mean,
it's possible.
I have not pulled one of these out in 3 months. So this is a total. You're having an experiment. I'm having an experiment.
All right, then. Well, it's time that we go ahead and cut the cigar. The official cutting is brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder over there at Riverman Cigar Company. And guys, if you're in the St. Louis area, there's no better shop in St. Louis for your supply of Aladino cigars than Dan over at Riverman Cigar Company. And I know that when these do come out and are available in retail shops, I know that Dan is getting some. So, you know, you can get your own. If you think that you'll like what I have to say about it by the end of this, I'm going to assume that I'm going to like it, but, you know, if you like what you hear, head on over to Riverman Cigar Company. Check it out. They're going to have these. They've got the other Aladino products and, you know, a whole bunch of other great cigars as well. There's still plenty of time to sit out underneath that 1,500 square foot covered patio out front and enjoy the nice weather that we're having here in St. Louis. And then also, if by chance you're not in the St. Louis area, but you still want to support a brick and mortar, Dan the Man Ponder over there does mail order. So when these do come in, you can give him a call. You can call Miss Cindy, and you can be like, hey, I want to try these great Aladino Sumatras. Why don't you put a few in the box for me and ship it to me? And they'll do that. So give Dan the Man Ponder a call over there at Riverman Cigar Company. And with that, it's time we go ahead and cut our cigar. Look at you. Is that your fancy cutter?
Yeah, that's the one with the story behind it. Remember
The story. Is it the Ellie Blue or whatever?
no, the poop story.
Oh,
Yeah, this is it.
yeah. Dear God.
Yep. No,
Okay.
the Ellie Blue and the
I want to say
Mammoth. Those two cutters, they have to stay.
you had that going the last time you were on. I
Yeah, the
think it
Ellie.
was the last time.
Yeah, have I ever used the Mammoth tusk?
I don't know if I know the Mammoth Tusk.
Yeah, man, it's a cutter made out of mammoth tusk.
Dear
Badass.
God, that is awesome.
Every caveman needs to have mammoth tusk.
Well, you are a caveman. I'll give you that. Yeah, it's been a little bit since you've been on. Now that I think about it,
I think it has been a while.
it's been a little bit. So I'm sure you've got some fun stories from the road, which we'll get to that in a minute. But first, cold draw time. You can discuss your experiment here while I you know fillet the Sumatra here. Oh,
So on mine here, I wish you guys had smell-o-vision, but I'm doing a little extra, see if I can get some a slight bit of flavor to a cigar, a natural infusion, if you will. This could be an absolute disaster on my part, but what are you getting, bud?
raisins.
Mm-hmm.
It's raisins. It's like
Oh,
immediate, like raisins,
a
man.
lot of raisins.
A lot of raisins when you do that. Yeah,
What do you
that
think
that
about the
hit.
color? What do you think about the color of that cigar? It's different than anything we've done. This is
It's a little, yeah. I mean, it's not Maduro, but it's definitely got a darker hue to it. Um, it's nice. I mean, it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to trying this for a little bit since it got announced, and so I am looking forward to this.
awesome.
But yeah, the raisiny, it's not it's not sweet like an infused or sweet tip cigar, but man, that raisiny sweetness is just so present and so prevalent.
Like raisin bread.
Yes, 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 yes. Not raisin toast,
No.
but raisin bread.
Oh,
We
yeah.
haven't toasted it yet. We're gonna toast it, but yeah. Okay. Well, I'm firing up. So you've been experimenting with adding like flavor to
Yeah,
the cigar?
I've got like I'm trying to like develop a new way to not like I don't like the word like infused cigars because then people think of like, oh, your blueberries or whatever. But what I'm trying to do is I'll take a tobacco and if it has hints of something, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to naturally infuse it to kind of amplify that flavor, if you will. So they shouldn't taste like a flavored cigar, but it should amplify certain
Yeah.
aspects,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's one of those things where like I think I know what you're saying. So like if it's a tobacco where maybe you naturally get like a coffee flavor off of it, like you might be trying to enhance said coffee flavor, draw it out more.
That would actually be one. And this one
Oh,
in
okay.
particular, it's so I get notes of coffee, I get notes of anise or black licorice, as well as orange, a little touch of orange.
Okay.
So I've used all three of these in this experiment.
Interesting. Interesting. So the off the foot retro hail is a little strong.
Yeah, I noticed you
Yeah. Briefly saw angels there.
uh,
Not
a
not just like a hint of them, you
little
know.
stronger than most Aladinos.
Yeah, like I mean, look, the Corojo Reserva is kind of like in my experience, your strongest so far.
Mhm.
So I'll be very curious to see how this kind of stacks up against that. And I've smoked my fair share of those. So like I'll be very curious to see how this stacks up. But so far, it's got some kick right off the bat.
Does. I'm so
Yeah.
pumped. So pumped. When it was first blended, I liked it a lot. And then at PCA, I got to try kind of the finished product, and I would just went bananas.
So now that I've had a retrohale on it, the second one, and I knew what I was expecting, but there's still a lot to it. But it's not like a pepper bomb. It's not like coming in and just dropping a shit ton of pepper in your lap and slitting your throat. It's strong, and there's meat to it, but it's not that pepper bomb that you would kind of expect.
No, I don't think Julio ever wants to do that to you.
But it's a little smokestack though.
Mm.
That's the other thing I'm digging. Like right off the bat, this thing's kicking off a decent amount of smoke. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
So, as we get into the cigar, how has Trey Mac been? I know you've been extraordinarily busy.
Yeah, and this timing worked out great because it's like my last day home before going on a wild goose chase that will start in Ohio, go to Michigan.
Tell me about Ohio.
I will go on several journeys, and then I should be home again mid-November.
Dear God.
This is like a big 6-week push.
Okay.
So yeah, tell me about
Ohio. Well, that'll be, I mean, you obviously have to enjoy it to some degree.
I mean, I'm twisted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or a masochist maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely things I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then when I sit at home for too many days, I'm like, this sucks too. I need to get out.
I need to get on the road.
Yeah. But then sometimes you get on the road and you're like, why, Lord, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what things are going to be thrown at you. Never know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like you're teeing up a story here.
I don't know if I'm ready to tell this story.
Come on.
It's too much, even for me.
No, now I have to know, because if it's too much for you, then come on. This feels like a good one.
It's embarrassing, but it's
Why is it
totally
embarrassing?
Well, I mean, now it's at the point now where like words getting out, and like I'm having like other retailers call me and they're like, "Oh, so tell me about what happened in West Virginia." And I'm like,
Whoa, what happened in West Virginia?
everybody's talking about it. And this is one, any rep in this area that's heard this story now, like for my whole career, it'll come up over and over again. And I'm just going to have to.
So wait, this is a career maker story. Now you have to tell it. What happened in West Virginia? I have to know.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
This is good.
I'm sober here. I can't believe I'm
I mean, who am I going to tell?
Right.
Let me make sure that the there we go. Okay.
Yeah, make sure this is recording.
Make sure the levels are good. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah. So you're in West Virginia.
Yeah. So this is a long story. So bear with me.
Buckle up. I got a whole cigar.
Oh boy. And I know once the story is, and then it's on the internet forever. But you know what?
Mickey Peg admitted to stealing a taxi cab on this show. Unless it's anything worse than that, he still wins. Okay. So, you're okay.
I could have used his taxi cab.
Okay. So obviously you didn't steal a vehicle.
I didn't.
All right. Let's start at the beginning. You're in West Virginia.
Huntington, West Virginia.
Huntington, West Virginia.
Yeah. Great shop out there. It's called La Fontaine's. They spent like $2 million putting this elevator and this rooftop patio and huge bar. The place is gorgeous. It's an awesome time.
Sounds cool.
Doing really good business out there. But of course, I'm always there during the day, and they got some attorneys, some doctors, some professors. This is where Marshall University is, so
okay.
They all hang out up there at this rooftop bar during the day, and that's who I see when I'm there. And they're like, man, one of these days you got to come here at night to understand why we're moving so much product. And I'm like, okay, one of
Okay.
these days that'll happen. So they set up an event off campus with me. We're going to this other venue. It's a drive for hunger, right? So like stupid expensive tickets for this thing, and for a good cause.
Yeah.
And part of the fun of this good cause was it's 80s themed.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they're like, Trey
So
Mac, you gonna be all right? You got some 80s clothes, and I'm like, just what I wear every day. I mean, you should see my car. I mean, I'm trying to be normal, but really, when I look at it, I'm an 80s pimp to begin with. So,
oh God.
you know, uh, like today, like, I got this from Andrew Tate's website,
Okay.
Don't cancel me, bro.
I'm not canceling you. So yeah.
Anyway, I got this red satin shirt, just happened to be in my car anyway, and perhaps a black satin jacket to go along with it. Of course, I got to wear my rings and my watch and my chain, and
Oh my. So
I got to
you're
really,
decked out.
yeah, I really got to do this 80s thing up with, basically an 80s porn star, if you will. I
Which
got
is
one,
only appropriate for you.
yeah. And like I always have my shirt a little unbuttoned, but for that night I
Yeah.
went an extra button. I'm pulling off the whole 80s porn star thing.
Yeah.
Had a
Just
great,
letting the chest hair out,
yeah, had a great time. There were some ladies out there that were smoking hot. They kind of look like um I don't know, the whole Reebok jumpsuit, sweatsuit,
Oh, sweating to the old, not sweating to the oldies.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, what was the one? Fuck. Hanoi Jane did it.
I can't remember.
Jane Fonda.
Oh yeah,
Remember, she did some sort of workout
yeah.
thing.
And you had like the Thigh Master.
Yeah. Okay. So okay,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. So
It was very nice. We had a great
yeah.
time. We had a
Okay.
great time. And then after it gets over, they're
Hanoi
like,
Jane.
Hanoi.
Look, she's always Hanoi Jane to me. Damn it.
Oh,
Anyway.
so I'm like, all right, well, now I guess I'm gonna go back to the rooftop and see what this place is all about at night.
Okay.
So I go back there, and of course, the manager that was with me all day, he's like, "No, I ain't got time for that. I'm going home, going to bed." I'm like, "All right, well,
So
it's a good little event. I'll see you later." So I go back to the bar, and there is a line like all the way down the alley. The
for a
alley,
cigar bar?
yeah, but it's college joint. So the college kids love this upscale shit.
Yeah.
And so like it's all like doctors and attorneys and shit during the day, and then at night around like 7 o'clock, that's all
It's
out the
all
door.
the
It's
it's all the
all
medical
college.
students and all the law students and all
No,
these kids.
no,
No.
every student known to man.
Okay.
This is like the college hangout in Huntington.
A cigar bar.
Yeah, but it's also a bar.
Interesting. Well, yeah, but like still, I just find it
Yeah.
fascinating because like
I should send
anyway,
you
all right.
videos. I mean, there was one chick doing a headstand, and it got wild. It was wild.
Okay. Okay.
So I get there, and I'm like, wall to wall people. I'm like, oh, this is just like college. I can't like get through anywhere, And it was bananas.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had a good time, handed out some smokes, talked to everybody. And then the night's winding down. There's
I
like,
assume they're carding to make sure everybody's 21 to
oh
get
yeah.
in.
And in fact,
Yeah.
it's genius how they do it, because you got to come in through the alley, through the line, and then the only way to get to the rooftop is to get on the elevator. So
And to get on the elevator, you gotta
yep, you can't get on the elevator without
uh,
the bouncer taking a picture of your crap.
and then you don't have to worry about carding for booze or cigars while you're up on the rooftop.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's genius.
Yeah.
So I'm up there having a good time. We're about 10 minutes left before this place closes at 1. And I see this table of two young ladies, very attractive. So I just sat down. And I was like, hey, ladies, how you
Dressed
doing?
like an 80s pimp.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I sit down, we're having a little conversation, and they're both traveling nurses. It's always good.
Ooh.
And I was like, well, it was nice to meet you. You know, everything's closing down. It was nice to meet you all, you know, blah, 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 blah. One girl says, hey, the night's not over. There's this towny bar called Hank's, 1 block away. Why don't you go there with us? Why don't I?
Why don't you?
Decisions that are life altering. That was one of them.
Okay.
So I say, yeah, I'll meet you at Hank's. So I go back down the elevator with them, and then I got a bunch of cigars and stuff I got to put in my car.
Mm-hmm.
So I put all this in my car. I got a spot I've been parking at for 3 years, same spot, load everything up, and walk 1 block to Hank's.
Okay.
Meet the girls, and about 45 minutes. We had one drink each, and a little chit chat was fun, and then that bar closes. And so I'm like, you know, I've got to get, you know, I got things to do. So I walk 1 block back to my car.
Wait. You didn't go with the gals?
So there were 2 life decisions that I made that altered life dramatically.
Okay.
One was the decision to go to Hank's.
Okay.
The second was, and one of the girls even told me, she goes, yeah, I was like, I'm in these condos across the street. And so I was like, oh, hey.
I mean, I'm just saying, you have 2 traveling nurses here. I mean, you know,
I didn't go for it.
I don't know if I'm proud of you or disappointed in you.
You know,
It's a heavy. It's the scale is just balancing. I don't know.
what it really was was over the course of 8 hours, I'd only had a couple of drinks. So I'm not drunk.
Ah,
And I really just want to go to bed.
so you were sober enough to make a good decision.
Yeah.
And to opt for going to bed. Okay. You know what?
I'm gonna make the right move. I'm older, more mature now.
Well, I mean, let's not go too far here. But okay.
More mature. I'm not
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow's my
All right.
birthday, fucker.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, son of a bitch.
So
Happy
tomorrow
early birthday.
I'll be older tomorrow.
Okay.
One more trip around the sun, if you guys believe that type of bullshit. But
yeah, you're younger than I am.
No, I'll be 39.
Yeah, I'll be 42 this year. So trust me. You want to know when the life-altering, crippling, just all the thoughts hit is 41. Everybody thinks 40. It's not 40. 40 is just another 30. 41 is when all of a sudden you're laying in bed and you're like, I'll be damned. I wonder how many more years I've got left. I wonder how this is going to end. Wonder if I'm going to have enough for retirement. And you just start fucking going down that road. So gird yourself. 41
things
sucks.
Like when you're 41, do you think of things like, I wonder how many chances I'm going to get with a 22-year-old traveling nurse?
Let me tell you, at 41, I've already discounted that, but you do you. You've got a little slicker thing going than I do over here. So, whatever.
So I make the right decision.
Okay.
Walk 1 block.
You make a decision.
I made a decision. That's for
yeah.
Walk 1 block back to my car. Only discover it ain't there.
Oh, fuck.
It's not there.
Okay.
So now
so tell me about Huntington, North or West Virginia. Is this a chill town or what are we? What kind of a downtown environment are we talking about here? I mean, are car thefts a thing?
Huntington, I would say, is how how would you describe it? There are the haves and the have-nots, and really nothing in the middle.
Okay. I mean, that can describe a lot of areas these days,
I mean, it's like pretty
but it's
late.
very, very.
Yeah, because like that's an old like coal mining town. There's
Mhm.
tons of old money, and then there's a lot of zero money, and then there's college kids in the middle.
Ah,
Wait,
let
what are you
retro
looking
here.
at?
I keep doing the retro hill. There was I'm in the still in the first third, but now there is that little lingering pepper component that's hanging in the nostrils slightly. And
Ooh,
it's just like it's just hanging there. It's not, again, nothing slit your throat, nothing whatever, but it wasn't there in the beginning.
just hanging there.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, remember me?
Yeah.
You've had me before. This is that Corojo. Yeah. No, that's what I'm getting, that Corojo kind of spice to it.
Nice. You still getting some
Yeah.
raisins?
Little bit, little bit. It's still the present. I'm
Mhm.
I'm little bit.
You getting any anise?
I haven't picked up on that, but I will be watching, or I'll be like tracking for it now that you've mentioned that. I'm not normally a black licorice guy, though. I'm not a big fan of
I
the
get a
anise.
I get a tiny bit in my nostrils,
Okay.
but I also get a ton of something else in my mouth.
Hmm.
Probably things I should not say on a podcast, but par for the
uh, there's shots for that. It's okay.
now.
Anyway, so okay, so there's haves and have-nots there in Huntington. So you're talking old money and what?
And
Very poor.
yeah, and probably not a place you want to be at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's what I'm getting at. Is like, so at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, look, let's be real. Everybody's always told me nothing good ever happens after midnight. But like, 2 o'clock in the morning, downtown Huntington, are you feeling? Oh, I mean, granted, you're missing your car, so obviously that's concerning. But like, are you feeling safe, or are you feeling concerned beyond your vehicle at this point?
I mean, I'm one of those idiots that never really feel unsafe, even when I am totally unsafe.
Okay,
So I'm not like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm
you're
more
not
like,
freaking out, but
okay, there's only two things here that could have happened. One, the car was stolen, possibility.
mhm.
And since I just saw it 45 minutes prior, so either car was stolen or it got towed. One of those two things occurred,
Oh, the towing.
which
I dealt with that a lot in college.
oh, you.
I'm not a fan of tow companies. I went to school in Carbondale, Illinois, and every fucking lot down there was, you know, by some tow company. And I had my dealings with the tow companies. And even when it wasn't my car being towed, I was known to still like get very close and scream at the tow guy about how he ought to get a real job that benefits society. And maybe if he would have graduated high school, he could have gotten a better job and things of that nature. I was very mean to the tow people because, quite frank, yeah, they cost me a decent amount of money. So,
So I
and
understand.
and they dented the hell out of the hood of my car by dropping the winch on it, and then proceeded to try and tell me that they didn't do it, but that somebody else came out and backed into my car and left. But then I was like, well, then you towed my car from the scene of a hit and run and
Yeah,
didn't
you can't
report
do
it to
that.
the cops. So who's the one in fault now? The bottom line is the tow companies down there can all eat shit and die. But anyway, so
Fair.
continue.
Fair
You've triggered.
enough.
That's an old trigger right there, man. That is an old trigger right there for me.
So for me, I've only been towed like once in my whole life, which would also happen to be in college. That's a funny story. We'll save for another time.
Okay.
But outside of that, I'd never been towed, and then somehow, in a span of 7 days, once in DC and once in West Virginia, apparently I've been towed.
So wait,
So
so So you were towed in DC a week prior to this?
Yes.
Dude, you got to watch where you're parking.
Past midnight too.
You really got to watch where you're parking. That's
No.
now look,
That's a whole
I don't know
nother
Huntington,
story.
but I know DC, and DC's not a town you want to be downtown after midnight without a car.
No, but that one I was like, I know exactly which company did this. I'm familiar with these, you know.
Okay.
So that situation, I just called an Uber and was like, take me here.
Oh,
I
that's
know where.
true. I guess you could do that.
Yeah. Now, so again, I'm sitting there in Huntington and I'm like, all right, so it's not the biggest town in the world, so there's probably only a couple towing companies. Pull them up. I'll start calling them, figure out where the car's at. If it's not any of those places, then I'll call the cops because obviously it's been stolen.
Okay.
So first thing I notice, I pull it up and wrong. There's like 18 towing companies in this town. And
I
I'm
was
like,
afraid you were going to say, because I know Carbondale's not a big town, and there were a plenty amount of towing companies down there.
so I'm like, all right, let's just go down the list. And no, everybody's telling me no. And I'm like, oh boy, did my car get stolen? Oh boy. I'm like, I still got to get through this list. And then out of nowhere, because I've been waiting for that new iPhone a little bit
Oh
longer
no.
than I should have,
Oh no.
my phone went from 60% battery to just crashing.
Oh God.
Phone goes black, won't turn back on. So now I have no car and no
And
phone.
no phone.
And I don't know this city.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome situation to be
I
in.
would say this just got way, way deeper.
So I don't know where a hotel is. I don't know which direction it could be. I don't know which way to walk to find a hotel. I have no clue. And it's at this point in time, it's 2:30 in the morning.
God.
And I'm like, okay. The only thing I do know is that there is a gas station within a short walking distance because I stopped there on my way out of town. So these are the perils of like when you get into these modes of going to these shops, you don't get to know the city. You have your one way in and your one way out to the next destination. You don't get to know your surroundings very well.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll go to this gas station. I'll buy some stuff to charge my phone. We'll get my phone charged and we'll just go from there.
Okay.
Okay. So I walk up there. The first thing I notice, there is quite a handful of like tweakers hanging out at this gas station.
Something amiss is at this, or something's amiss
Yeah.
at the Circle K.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't want to hang out here very long.
Uh-huh.
So I go in there, I get a block and I get a cord to charge and buy this stuff. And then I asked the young lady, I'm like, hey, where can I plug this thing in to charge my phone? And she just looked at me like I was an idiot. And she goes, you can't do that here. And I go, what do you mean? Just like show me a plug-in that I can use. And she's like, do you see the people that hang here at night? If they see you doing it, then they're all going to want to do it. And she's like, I can't have, you can't charge a phone here.
Oh,
And I'm like,
oh,
well, that's an issue.
it's a big issue.
Yeah. So I'm like, can I return these items that I just purchased?
It's
I don't need them.
when you're like, I need to use the men's room. Where's the men's room? And then you just kind of like go and take a really long shit and let that thing charge. But anyway, okay, all right.
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, I'm assuming they had a public restroom. Although if they've got a bunch of tweakers outside, maybe they don't even let that happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even
I don't
think.
know. Well, okay. So there you go.
Anyway, I'm thinking I'm getting a savior because in walks 3 police officers.
Hey, all right.
Hallelujah. 3 police officers.
You haven't done anything wrong. So, I mean, yeah.
Surely they can help me.
Yeah.
I walk up and I'm like, officer, I could use some help. I'm not from here. I don't know the area. My car is gone and my phone is dead. I'm stuck. I just need to know where my car is or charge my phone. I need anything. And
Yeah.
can you guys help me? One of the cops goes, what's your car look like? And I go, black Ford with Kentucky license plates. And he just goes, oh yeah, we towed that fucker.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Well,
I'm
okay,
like,
so now at least you know who has your car.
I know it's been towed.
Yes.
And I go, why did you tow my car? I've been parking there for 3 years. And he says, well, last night there was a shooting in that alley. And so we're trying to clean it up.
By getting rid of your vehicle.
And that's at this point, had I been drunk, I just would have like let that go. Cause that's me when I'm drunk. I'm not an angry drunk. I'm more, okay, I let things slide. I am an angry sober.
Oh boy.
So as soon as he says that, I popped off to the cop and I go, oh, so your solution to cleaning up the street is putting me on it. What kind of bullshit is that? And then they're like, hey. And I'm like, well, come on. Like, this is ridiculous.
As you're
And
dressed like an 80s pimp.
as an 80s pimp. Yes. Keep
Okay.
that in mind.
Okay.
So I look at the guy and I'm like, okay, so where was it towed? They name the company. I go, where is that? And he goes, well, it's about 4 miles and points this direction. I'm like, 4 miles.
4 miles.
So I go, can one of you drive me there? Because I can't get an Uber, my phone, I can't charge my phone, or
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
And cops are like, no, we can't do that.
Really?
Or what you said.
I'll be damned.
So I bet if I was a woman, probably would have taken me where I needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm a bald pimp. Not gonna take this guy anywhere.
That might be the power of suggestion, by the way. But on the retro hail, I am picking up a little bit of that dark licorice.
Oh yeah.
But it might be the power of suggestion. But I might earlier have misinterpreted some of the pepper component. I might have been attributing it to a spice when it might have been the anise. But anyway, either which way.
It's great.
This thing's smoking super smooth, by the way.
It's a beautiful thing. It
like
is
this is really, really good. So, okay, please continue. I'm riveted by this story here. So at this point, you've popped off to the cops. They won't give you a ride to the tow yard.
Yeah. And one of the cops, nice African American gentleman, I can tell he feels bad for my situation.
I would hope so. I mean, just a little humanity.
He's obviously also not the superior, or he would have piped up.
Yeah.
Instead, he just kind of pulled me aside, chill things out, and he goes, look, man, here's what I can do for you. He's like, I'm going to write out walking instructions from here to there. I still got I wish I would have brought the paper. I still got it in my car. I mean, it's like this long.
Yeah.
But he did. He wrote everything out for me to get to this place.
To the tow yard.
Yeah. And on top of it, great penmanship. Phenomenal.
That's important. That's important.
So I asked him too. I'm like, all right, well, if I don't want to walk 4 miles, where's the closest hotel? Well, it's 2 miles the other direction.
God.
So now another decision must be made.
Yeah. Are you walking 2 miles one way, or are you walking 4 miles the other way?
Yep. So I decide
at like probably around 2:45 in the morning at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I decide I'm walking to the impound. 4 miles ain't got shit on me.
You went straight to the car.
Now, let me tell you why this was also another maybe not a good decision.
Okay.
4 miles a long way.
It is.
It's also not in a very good area.
Well, and at this point, it's now almost 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot of not good areas getting there, and then you get to that not good area, and you're like, oh boy, this is not where I need to be right now. But I'm on a mission, and I'm pissed off. And I get there, damn place is closed.
Oh no.
Yep. Not a 24-hour tow yard.
Okay.
No, they're closed. So now I've got another decision I got to make.
Are you
Where do
walking 6 hours to the hotel or miles to the hotel?
Where do I go?
Yeah.
The only thing I know, because I don't really know the city, is if I walk back to downtown, at least I can get my bearings.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And you know there's a hotel 2 miles from the gas station you were at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dear
Now,
God.
mind you, it took me an hour and a half to walk to the tow yard.
Oh.
Now you're looking at another hour and a half back to downtown.
So okay, so you left the gas station somewhere around, let's just say, for argument's sake, around 3 a.m. So at this point, it's like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. When I walk
Holy
back,
shit!
I
So you're
walk all
looking
the way
at
back.
getting to the gas station at 6 a.m. and then another 2 miles to the hotel. It could be like 7 o'clock in the morning by the time you get to the hotel.
Yeah. Now,
Dear God.
I probably could have made that walk in an hour had I not been in dress shoes.
Oh yeah.
But I'm also in dress shoes, and I just walked 4 miles in dress shoes. Now I'm like, I guess I'm turn around and walk. And I don't know if you've ever walked 8 straight miles in dress shoes. It's really not good for your body.
Does it look like I've walked 8 straight miles, much less in dress shoes? Anyway.
So I make the decision. I'm going to walk back to downtown, get my bearings. We'll figure this out. And I'm walking, and there's like 3 tweakers I had to deal with that, wasn't so fun, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just frustrated at this point in time.
So you don't have to answer this, but I'm going to ask this, and you can choose not to answer if you wish. But were you armed in any way, shape, or form at this point?
No.
Okay. Okay. Because I know some reps that will remain nameless that I know, protect themselves.
I think you should. In a lot of situations, the issue with being a rep when you cross so many different areas, you don't know the legality, and you can.
Yeah.
Me in DC, you go to prison.
Yeah.
And
that's a valid point.
Which the last time I was on, did I tell the story about breaking the guy's nose and all that?
Nope. I don't know that story either.
Okay, that was a case where it was a good thing I didn't grab the weapon. Anyway, maybe we'll save that one for the next one.
You know what? One of these days, I keep threatening this. One of these days, I'm going to have to go back through all the episodes you've been on, and I'm going to have to take notes of all the stories that you've teased but never actually circled back to, because I know there are some. And I have to. One of these days, we got to do a just mega episode where we just like catch up.
All right.
So
okay, that one. Remember that one, because I really thought I had told that story the last time I was on.
No, I don't remember you breaking anybody's nose
in my underwear. And
no, I really don't remember that.
Okay.
There's only been one story that I've been told where, you and your underwear may come into play, and realistically, I don't think the underwear were on very long, so it's neither here nor there.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure you do.
But this one had to deal with my underwear too.
That's true, but that's not the story that I'm referring to.
Okay. All right. Anyway, back to Huntington.
So at this point,
Baltimore,
you're trying to determine where you're going to go.
Yeah. And so I walk back to downtown, and I did the tweakers. I told them pretty much F off, don't mess with me. And I probably do look angry, and I was angry, so it was all right. And then I see what looks to be a normal looking young lady in her 20s crossing the street towards me.
And what time of day is this?
Oh, this is definitely like 4:30 in the morning.
So you're still by the tow yard?
No, I got to the tow yard. No, it's somewhere in between the tow yard and downtown on that journey.
Okay, so it's a little okay. All right.
I'm not at any destination. I'm walking from the tow yard back to downtown. It's somewhere.
Okay. So it's somewhere in that time period.
It's late.
Yeah.
Or
early, depending on your perspective.
Oh, yes, exactly.
So okay.
See her, and I'm like, oh my God, somebody that's not a tweaker, maybe she can point me in the right direction. So I miss, can you help me, please? She like looks at me and I go, not from here. I need you to.
Oh no.
Then I said something that if I could go back in time and change what I said, I would have
Oh
done it.
God. What'd you tell her?
I
As you're
said,
dressed like an 80s pimp.
can you take me to a hotel?
Oh fuck.
I'm done at this point. I'm like, ma'am, I just need a hotel.
Oh
Take me to a hotel.
no.
I did.
So she's just having all the worst thoughts.
I didn't get maced, but she did start screaming at me immediately, saying, no hotel, no hotel, get away from me, get away from me. And then she turned and ran as fast as she could. At which point in time, I kind of look at myself and I'm like,
Yeah, that's probably the correct response that she should have had.
okay, yeah, that might not have been the way I should have approached that situation. So anyway, now I'm totally screwed. The one person that could have at least pointed me in a direction, I fucked it all up. So now I'm frustrated, I'm tired, and I make it back to the downtown area and I'm just dead. And this weird thing happened, man, where I'm like, I've got a lot of empathy now for like homeless folks because your brain changes and it changes quick. And I remember just walking and being tired and just like giving up. Like I'm done. Like I'm done walking. I'm done with everything.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this bench appears.
You didn't.
And I'm like, that is it. This is now my bench. And anybody that comes around,
I'm gonna fight for this fucking bench.
this is my territory. I had walked for like 4 hours and not seen a bench the entire time. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is it. I am planting my flag here because I haven't seen an opportunity like this in a long time. And these are like real mental thoughts. Like this changed like in me. I'm like, what total aggro and like this is mine.
Did you sit on the bench or lay on the bench?
I tried
because
both.
there's a big difference.
I tried both. Neither one worked very well. It was very uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, it's a bench.
But eventually, like my body just gave out. I just completely blacked out. Tired, went to sleep.
On a bench in downtown Huntington
Downtown. Yep.
at like 5 something in the morning.
Got my rings, my watch, jewelry, and just
dressed like an 80s pimp.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'd probably stick out like a sore thumb. Now, here's where sticking out like a sore thumb actually pays off for me.
Okay. Obviously, I would say there's obviously some sort of like positive resolution to this because you're talking to me now. So
I'm here.
Yeah.
So at some point in time in the early morning, because the sun was up, I'm gonna guess somewhere around 7ish.
Okay.
I'm woken up by the beep, beep, beep of the trash collector.
Okay.
So then I'm awake and I'm on this bench and I'm like, oh, the sun's up. What am I gonna do now? It's Sunday morning.
Oh shit.
Sunday morning, maybe I can find a church that'll help me. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I get up off the bench and I take maybe 5 steps. And this lone car, there's no cars driving around at like 7 a.m. This lone car drives by, and I don't know this car, never seen it in my life. Drives by, and as soon as it sees me, it screeches on its brakes. I mean, right in the middle of downtown and just stops. Window rolls down. And I hear the words, Trey Mac, what the fuck are you doing out here?
Oh my God. So it's someone that knows you.
So I walk over and I look through the window, and son of a bitch, it was the manager of the cigar lounge.
Nice. Okay.
And I go, Andy, what the hell are you doing out here? He goes, I woke up early wanting biscuits and gravy. And I said, well, you know what? I could really go for some biscuits and gravy myself.
Dear God, biscuits and gravy saved your life.
It did.
Okay.
So we went, and of course, this place called Tudor's. I understand why people in West Virginia are fucking fat. I totally get it. Um, the women were awesome. They're like, yeah, you can charge your cell phone here. Here, we'll charge it for you. And of course, I'm like, oh, that'd been great if the gas station was like the
No
biscuits and
shit.
gravy people. So, and then Andy tells me you definitely want the big tater.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, what's the big tater? And
I would say,
he goes, well, I got up to 400 pounds in college eating the big tater on a regular
oh my
basis.
God.
I'm like, okay, screw it, big
So
tater.
what's the big tater?
This thing probably weighs 5 pounds, somewhere between 3 and 5 pounds.
So you had the big tater and biscuits and gravy?
Well, in the big tater, you get everything.
Okay.
So it's got a layer of potatoes, layer of eggs. I think there's 2 biscuits somewhere in there.
Okay.
And then half of it is this really heavy white sausage gravy.
Brilliant.
And the other half is like nacho cheese.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
See, now here in St. Louis, we've got the slinger, and that's potatoes, eggs, like sausage. I think there's biscuits in there, but then it's topped with chili.
Ah, that sounds really good.
And let me tell you, when you're hungover, that's nice. You pay for it later, but it's great at the time.
I had never had gravy and nacho cheese mixed together.
I can't say as I have ever had that either.
It was kind of nice.
Interesting.
So there you are before we finish this story. So you're starting the final third.
I am. I'm taking off the band of
What
this
was
guy here.
What was the middle like?
The strength profile on the smoking experience ramped up. Like I said, it may have been power of suggestion, but I did get that black licorice on the retro hail, and dude, I'm digging this cigar a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've got the second one that I'm gonna get to, when I have time to really ruminate and reflect on it and whatnot. But I'm just saying this. You guys might have a contender for something that's beating the Corojo Reserva. This might be the best cigar you guys have come out with.
It's my favorite.
It's ridiculous. And I'll say this too. I know some people have issues with Sumatra. They don't care for Sumatra and whatnot. I'm not getting that typical Sumatra flavor profile off of it.
It doesn't. If you were not told it's Sumatra, I don't think you'd know.
No. Truthfully, if I wasn't told it was Sumatra, I don't. I'm not getting the same flavor profile as the Corojo Reserva, but there is enough of that little bit of Corojo. Like, there's Corojo in this, right? Or am I just totally making this shit up?
They're possibly.
Oh, for God's sakes. All I know is that, yeah, this is different, but it's really, really good. So, like, so far, as I'm entering the final third, to the listeners, you're gonna have to get yourself one of these. If you're a fan of Aladino, and even if you're not, even if you're just a fan of like bolder cigars, you're gonna want to try one of these. This is ridiculous. So
I actually think that cigar opens us up to a clientele that may not usually smoke Aladino. So wonderful. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like LFD slit your throat, to where it's just like, oh my God, it's nothing but strength, and everything. But it's nuanced. It's strong, but it's got the flavor components to it, and it's like if you had a really strong cigar that also was just very elegant.
Yep.
I'm digging it. I like it. So,
yeah.
All right. So please continue with the story. You're now at the diner. You're having the big tater.
Finally getting the phone charged. And of course, I tell the manager, where the car is at.
And I love the smoke production on this thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a
Tons.
little smokestack. I'm eating my smoke here, but oh my God, it's so great. So, okay. So you tell the manager what's going on.
And he goes, man, you walked down there last night. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, dude, I don't even want to go there during the day. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a rough.
That's not something that you want to hear.
Yeah, it's rough. It's out by the train tracks, outside of town, sort of ish. It's not good. So we're calling them. No one's answering.
Okay.
Called him like 32 times.
Oh my God.
Finally, this woman answers, and she is not happy to be on the phone. And I'm like, man, my car's been towed to y'all's place. I just need to come get it. We're closed on Sundays. I said, ma'am, I'm not from here. I live 4 hours from here. I really need to come get my car. And what's that? What's it going to take? If I got to come down there on my day off, you're going to have to pay a gate fee, and you're paying with cash.
Ah.
I know what's going on here.
She pocketed all your money.
$300.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
she had a good Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. So get my car, and I'm about to drive home after sleeping on the street. And Andy, the manager, says, one thing before you go. You know how lucky you are? And I'm like, I can't believe you drove by. Like, that fact alone. Like, yeah. He's like, no, I'm not talking about that. He goes, number one, you're lucky you made it through a night on the streets of Huntington. He's like, there was a shooting in that alley. You just parked your car in. And like,
Mike,
it's not the nicest place at night. He's like, you made it through a night in Huntington. I'm like, yeah, I did. And he goes, but that's not all. He said that this whole summer, he's like, the cops have been going through at night, rounding up all the homeless people, that putting them on buses and just shipping them out of town.
Oh shit.
And I go, to where? And he goes, nobody knows.
Oh shit. You could have been like taken to Chicago.
I would have been like
illegal immigrants.
I'm not homeless. Look at my chain, my watch. I'm not homeless.
Like, I swear to God, I have money. I just can't really access anything because I don't have a phone.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that would have been a chapter for a book.
Yeah.
But it's the whole thing's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That concludes this week's story. Homeless.
That's a hell of a story.
Yeah, you could call this Homeless in Huntington.
Homeless in Huntington. Well, yeah, that's one for the record books, bud.
Yeah, we'll talk about Baltimore next time.
Okay. Is that the broken nose?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to hear that story. So, all right. Well, what?
No cops are involved in that one too. So,
well, okay. All right. Well, why don't we now go ahead and jump over and do this? It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to villigercigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So, bud, what have you had time to watch anything? Any podcasts you've been listening to? Anything?
All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's not for the faint of heart out there, people, but people need to know these things. Okay.
Okay.
I like the Y Files on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever watched their.
You have sent me some links to some things, and I have watched them, specifically about the Top Hat Man, which, thanks for that, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. The reason I like the Y Files is because he'll go through like some crazy conspiracy thing, and he gets you all wrapped up into it, and then like the last third of the show is him like, now I'm going to debunk everything I can debunk. And he like kind of like, and you're like, oh, that's okay. All right. But then at the end, he's also like, but here's a bunch of stuff that I couldn't debunk from this whole thing. And you're like, oh,
Okay.
so
Okay.
he flicks your bean around. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, but he's being fair about it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that big on the Y Files and America's Untold Stories, also on YouTube.
I don't know that one.
Oh boy. These guys, they talk about like conspiracies that came out to be true. So I mean, you talk about the most in-depth information on the JFK assassination. I mean, they've probably got at least a minimum of 20 hours just on JFK's assassination. And then what they do, they call it Untold Stories, because they'll bring up names that people forgot that are connected to all these events. And then they'll tell that whole person's life story. And you're like, holy cow. Like, oh yeah. Like
Okay.
this week their show was on Weather Underground and all those folks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody paying attention to presidential politics in 2008 remembers the Weather Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I would say those two, I'm real big on those two shows. I usually catch them when I'm driving.
Okay. Well, I haven't really. So full transparency to the listeners here. I recorded last evening with the Smoking Butts guys, and it's now Tuesday, and Trey Mac and I are recording for Friday. So needless to say, I haven't really watched anything new in the last 24 hours since having done this bit with the Smoking Butts guys. However, one of the things that I talked about with them was the Jared from Subway documentary. And that's opened me up to now other ones that I want to get to. Specifically, it's been on my list forever, but I want to watch. It's called something like "We Need to Have a Conversation About Cosby," where it talks all about Bill Cosby, and basically it's like all these, prominent black actors, actresses, just activists, whatever. And basically, they're trying in this documentary to kind of to rectify the fact that like Bill Cosby said and did some really good things, but also he was a rapist and a generally horrible individual. And so they're trying to like wrap their head around that. And so I want to watch that. But then that has sprung me to also there's a 12-part series on Hulu called Secrets of Playboy. And in and amongst that, I think it's like episode 8, they talk about the deviants that would come and party at the Playboy Mansion, specifically Roman Polanski and Bill Cosby. And they would talk all about all the wicked shit that Bill Cosby would do, and how basically, because he was one of Hefner's like inner circle people, he could get away with all kinds of shit. And so I want to watch that too. So
it's twisted.
It is twisted. It's fucked up. And, I think that it's one of those things where we need to be conscious of the fact that just because somebody's famous and we like their movies or music or whatever it is, if they're a piece of shit, they're a piece of shit. I mean, we had during the Ask the Boys, we had a call come in from, I don't remember who it was from. It might have been Paul, but he was asking about thoughts on Michael Jackson. And how do you wrap your head around the allegations with Michael Jackson, but also, his music is played everywhere still, and he hasn't really been canceled like Bill Cosby and somebody. But then again, you could still find the Cosby Show on TV. So even though Bill Cosby's known to be a piece of shit, you can still watch the show. So it's bizarre how like that's the case. Now, Jared commercials, I don't really think you're finding Jared commercials except maybe online these days.
Subway still gets away with bullshit sandwiches.
Right. I mean, what was it? I still never heard a resolution to the whole like thing about their tuna and how it's not really tuna.
I don't know if anything they make Subway eat fresh. Subway eat a dick. It's not fresh at all. It's disgusting. I'm sorry for people out there that like Subway. It's fucking terrible.
I will say their cookies are really good, but
Yeah, yeah, I don't know about that.
their cookies are good. However, I still contend that if you're going to go to a sandwich place and you want good cookies, Penn Station has the best chocolate chip cookies because they're little squares and they're thick, and they throw them through the oven where they toast the sandwiches. Oh, you get them right out of the oven, dude. I don't know if there's a better cookie. It's ridiculous.
Sounds really good.
I know my cookies. So anyway, so yeah,
Don't eat
that's
Subway. Don't eat it.
don't eat Subway. Jimmy John's just bought Subway.
Jimmy John's. Yeah.
Freaky fast.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they
Well, I mean, I do
What's your
like,
sandwich price?
I do now. If I do get Jimmy John's, I get the gargantuan. I mean, that thing is enormous.
I'm a turkey tom guy.
The gargantuan, baby. But
Okay.
even like their bread is so freaking hard, like
Yeah, their
no,
bread
no.
is yeah.
Jersey Mike's. That's the sub.
I was waiting for you to say that. I like Firehouse.
No. Firehouse. I'm sorry to all the first responders out there.
Oh
But
no, what are you gonna shit on Firehouse for?
here's why. Here's why.
I like
I
Firehouse.
gave him 2 chances in this past month, and I'm like,
Mhm.
never again. The first one, I was like, maybe that was an anomaly. Or the next, nope, same exact thing. I'm done. So both stores, the service was terrible. The floors were disgusting. And worst of all, the hot sauce is gone.
That's their whole bit. Is they've got like 12 different kinds of hot sauce.
Yeah, they used to have a ton. And now it's like, then they had a hot sauce bar, and you could like
Yeah.
pick all, not anymore. Gone.
Oh shit.
The last 2 I went to, no more hot sauce.
I'll be damned. I'll have to go to one again. I like them. I used to really like Quiznos,
Me too.
but they just kind of like vanished. And then
Anywhere. I don't see McAllister's much anywhere.
they're around here. I love their iced tea.
Schlotsky's. I don't see Schlotsky's anymore.
Potbelly. Now Potbelly's
I do like
Potbelly. Potbelly's good. I like Potbelly. Okay. All right. Well, so we've covered sandwiches then.
Yeah.
So my little drop for the super fight is not working on my board for some reason.
Oh.
The file, it said something about invalid something rate on when I transferred the file to the board. So I'm just gonna drop it in here when I edit. So, this will be the time that we you know what, I could probably pull this off here this way. Let me do this. This will be a trick. We'll do this. Let me see if I can get the volume up. And we'll do this.
Contestants to your corners. It's time for a super fight.
Okay.
That
At least we got it. We got it for the video. At least I'll probably do it better for the audio, but whatever. So okay, time for a super fight, and you know how this goes. So we have 2 contestants with 2 quantity or attributes, and we're gonna go see who wins. So first up in one corner,
Jared versus Cosby.
we have Conan the Barbarian. Now Conan the Barbarian, he has his head locked in an antique diver's helmet. So think like the big bulbous one with the little port in the front.
Yeah.
He's got his head locked in one of those. However, he has the ability to summon cats to do his bidding. Okay. So we have Conan with a helmet, diving helmet, and he's summoning cats.
Okay.
And then in the other corner, we have MacGyver. And MacGyver, he can fly if nobody's watching. But also, he is armed with a catapult and unlimited livestock.
I think this is easy.
God, why is it always easy? I always think like we're gonna get one of these things, and somebody's gonna be like, "Oh man, I don't even know," and we have to like really suss it out. But okay, so we have Conan with the army of cats and locked in the antique diver's helmet versus MacGyver, who can fly if nobody's watching, armed with a catapult and unlimited livestock. So why? How is this easy?
Well, I mean, MacGyver has a catapult and livestock.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that.
Okay.
I mean, all he needs is one of those cats, one cat, and there's unlimited cats. I mean, MacGyver's gonna like take his fist, shove it straight up that cat's ass, get the entrails. He can make all sorts of shit out of that. Like make
Now
a
that's true.
lasso.
That's
And
true.
yeah, I mean, and who knows what else he could do with like bits and pieces of those cats? He's MacGyver.
Cat whip. He can just
Yeah,
whip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and dude, I mean, Conan in a diving helmet. I mean, the guy's already half Riri anyway. You put him in a diving helmet, and then
I don't know if we're supposed to use that word.
I thought that
I mean,
was the word we could use now.
I don't know if that's the case, but
I
anyway,
it's a retarded.
I know you. I know you can't use that word. I don't think that word's.
I mean, you
okay.
can say it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, oh,
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so
I'm no MacGyver.
so you're saying MacGyver and his ability to make anything out of anything
Yeah,
trumps anything that Conan can do with an army of cats that can do his bidding.
probably just needs one cat. He can probably build a bomb out of a cat.
Well, dude, he's also got, I mean, it's unlimited livestock. So he's got access to cows, sheep, pigs, chickens.
It's more of a liability because then he's got to feed them.
He's got a catapult. I'm assuming the whole point of the catapult with the unlimited livestock is to be launching cows at Conan.
He doesn't need it.
But he's got it.
It's true. I mean, Conan doesn't need unlimited pussy, but he's got it.
What's the line? Hear the lamentations of your women, drive your enemies before them and hear the lamentations. I don't remember the full line, but yeah.
Yeah.
What is best? It's what is best in life. And I don't remember how the rest of that goes, but I could Google it, but I'm not going
Conan
to.
did
But
some banging. He did some
oh
banging.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine Arnie's voice inside of a diving helmet?
Just be like, "Ow, ow."
MacGyver would just take a couple of those cats and like shove them underneath and just suffocate his ass.
I can't breathe.
Goes away.
Oh fuck. Okay. All right. So you're going MacGyver.
Hands down, MacGyver.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna agree.
Convince me that Conan.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't. I mean, the only thing I would say is in hand-to-hand combat, I think Conan takes down MacGyver, but that's assuming that it gets close enough for hand-to-hand combat. I think the catapult comes into play when they're distant, but then as they get closer, but as he's launching livestock at Conan, he's already thinking one step ahead and he's prepping for closer combat with Conan.
Yeah.
Hence the entrail whips and various things that you're talking about.
Exactly.
I mean, he could break a cow's leg and get a bone and like sharpen that up with like he can let a pig gnaw on it for a little while to sharpen it up.
I mean, MacGyver with sinew. What more?
Oh my god. Okay. You know what? I agree. I'll give you that. Okay. Well, now that we've figured that out, let's do this. This would normally be the time that I give some information about My Monthly Cigars, but I've hired that out this week, so take it away.
My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service. It comes in a variety of different size boxes at affordable prices. Use offer code PULPIT and get free shipping on your first box and 20% off any items in the online store at mymonthlycigars.com.
That's offer code PULPIT. Thanks. Thanks. One of these days, I need to get the new commercials from Nick. He wrote out some new commercials, and he actually recorded them himself, but he said he didn't like it with his voice, and he wanted to find a lady friend or something up in his area that would record it, and then he'd send me the files, and he hasn't done that yet.
That's probably because that jackass got Bill Burr to do it for you.
No shit, right?
Yeah, Gervais is on the shit list. He can go eat a Subway sandwich for all I care, right? Send it.
Yeah.
Oh no, Bill Burr's here. Bill Burr.
Dude,
I'm like,
he's got a picture of Bill Burr holding a bag of the fucking good coffee, and he's just like creaming himself over this.
yeah, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
It's like you with that Aladino cigar today. Like, when I think about you, I,
I keep putting this thing down because I don't want it to end. I am like down to like this little bit and I just don't want this to end. And I've got that second one in there, but I'm like, no, I don't want to do them back to back. I don't want to burn through them. I want to wait, give myself a little bit of time to reflect. But this is just ridiculous. You guys really nailed it.
appreciate it, man. I really do think it's a game changer. I love everything we do already. This is just something we've never done before. It's totally different. It's pushing the envelope, and I think Julio did it in a way that's also very balanced, very elegant, as you said.
It is. I mean, I'm in the final third here, and like this is typically the point when a lot of cigars like really ramp up, and it is. It's stronger than the first third, but it's still totally just like I keep coming back to balanced, and it's not anything that's just. It's not to the point that I'm sitting here going like, oh my god, or it's not. It's not a struggle to deal with the strength. It's just strong. It's good.
It's definitely a full-bodied cigar that doesn't have any one aspect that takes you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, whoa. It's
yeah. Oh shit, I'm drooling. That final third retro ale. Holy crap.
You and your retros.
Yeah, well, come on. This one's strong. This one is strong. Oh my gosh.
I'm excited. Now, those are going to come out this month. I got several events lined up.
I was going to say, so when can people start looking for these in stores?
I would say they're going to ship. I had a conversation with the office today. We may ship like half of them out end of next week ish.
Okay.
Or possibly this Friday. We'll see. They did arrive in Miami, so they got
so it could be any time that these start shipping out.
They got to port today. So with customs and everything, sometimes it's 1 day, sometimes it's 4. You don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
But they could very well be in the office as early as tomorrow.
Now I know that there was the PCA exclusive cigar. It had the Cameroon wrapper one.
Yeah. Yep.
That one was limited to a certain number of boxes and thus only limited to a certain number of stores that had it. This one, though, correct me if I'm wrong, this was available to everybody. They just had to place the order at PCA, and basically it was, I don't want to say made to order, but kind of made to order.
Yeah, it was one of those things like we've got this. The difficult part is telling the customer, hey, this is different this is what some people have been asking for us to do. We don't have any samples of it, but it's done.
Yeah.
And like, just trust me, you want to pre-order these. So what's going to happen is it's going to be a huge success this year. And then next year, everybody's going to be like, oh, now I have to buy these.
And correct me if I'm wrong. This is what's coming out instead of the number 4, the Corojo Reserva number 4 size.
Correct.
Okay. So this is your fall limited edition.
Yeah. And we'll do it again next year as well.
Okay.
And then we'll see what happens with it after that. But
I think it needs to go into regular production after that.
Yeah. I mean, we've been working on our Sumatra for a while. Obviously now we've got some really good quality Sumatra. We can go ahead and start cranking out cigars. And 2 years from now, yeah, we might have enough. We can go ahead and do full-blown line of it.
I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I tend to like Toros more than Robustos. I wonder what this would smoke like as a Robusto, though. You get that extra punch of power in the smaller size. But I mean, dude, I'm really thoroughly digging it as a Toro, though. It's really good.
I wouldn't mind trying it in a Robusto myself.
There you go. So here's what we'll do. I have to switch a button on the board, so we're going to go to video only for a moment, and then we'll be right back to the audio because, I got to have the closing music. But please hold, and we'll be right back. And if you want to hear what we talk about on the video, head on over to YouTube. Okie dokie. So we're video only. So while we're video only, why don't you talk about the experimental cigar that you had?
Fun actually, and the one thing, so say the negative
Okay.
is I did have to relight several times, and that's probably because I just pulled it out of its 3-month holding cell and haven't like let it dry a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, so it was just a little wet.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely wet. So I just probably just
or humidified. Yeah.
yeah, because of the way I'm doing it, it changes how the cigar is humidified. So it's a little bit of a different experiment, and I would say it worked. This cigar is actually super mellow, but whatever I did, it created a ton of spice.
Okay.
So I did get the sweetness. I did not get the citrus I was hoping for. Um, did get the coffee notes and a ton of the anise, a ton.
Okay.
But then it also created this spice that this cigar should not have.
Interesting.
So
All right.
yeah, and I've got like a lot of different layers of experiments that I've got going on. So I'll have to compare this to another version of the same experiment, and yeah, it's just a fun little project.
All right then. Well, now we'll head back to the audio side. And we're back on the audio here. So if you want to hear Trey Mac's review of his experimental cigar, you'll have to go on over to the YouTube. And speaking of the YouTube, I'm available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. You guys want to get in on that? And we're on. Don't really do much, right? Keeps getting. I haven't. One more. I haven't. I keep forgetting about it, quite frankly. YouTube where you can watch this, and then guys, need your calls for that number 860. I don't think I have any calls right now this month, so start getting in because it's fun to do that show, and it's nice when I have a variety of calls and callers. So make sure you get those calls in. Then Trey Mac, where can everyone follow you?
T Mac Aladino Cigars, Instagram. It's probably the easiest way to get me. Of course, Facebook. The parishioners, they know I'm in that group.
Oh, yeah.
Reach out to me there anytime, day or night. I'm likely to respond or not. You never know.
That's true. If your phone is dead and you're on the streets of Huntington, you're obviously not going to be responding to anybody.
If I'm going through a hobo phase, I'm sorry. Just a phase.
Dude, I wish I had a cigar pick because I'm at the point now that it's difficult to hang on to, and I'm afraid I'm going to start singeing mustache hairs, but I don't want to let this go. It's super good.
It's still,
but I think dude, it is still putting off a ton of smoke, just that little bit. But I gotta give it up. But it was an amazing smoke. I'm looking forward to it being available because I'm gonna make sure I get my hands on more. And yeah, for those folks that are looking for something with a little even more strength than what you expect from Aladino, check it out. It's really, really good.
Hell yeah. Dude.
So
pumped.
So pumped. So Trey, I appreciate you taking time out because I know that you've been super busy.
Yeah, the timing just worked out great. My last night here in Kentucky.
There we go.
And who knows stories I'll have from the road this next.
Yeah, hopefully nothing nearly as dramatic and potentially dangerous as that one.
I think I'm hitting 6 states in 6 weeks, so who knows?
Yeah, that's well, I mean, so it's definitely the opportunity for wackiness is there.
And it is.
Okay.
But yeah, this has been fun. I always like come on the show. It's been a little bit, but
yeah,
Thanks for having me back on.
Like I said, I know you're busy, so
and I know
you
you've
know.
been busy too. I mean, you just had Pulpit Fest and all that.
Yeah, strong but mighty. That's the tagline for this year. Strong but mighty.
I like it.
You know, but I've already got plans for next year that I'm working on. That I want to make. I want to make it bigger and better. So, which I'll talk to you about that after we turn off the recordings. I have ideas, but anyway.
I got some ideas for that too. So this will be saucy.
Oh, perfect. Okay. We'll have to have everybody dressed like 80s pimps.
I like this.
I mean, you got that covered. So anyway, well, Trey Mac, thank you so much for taking time out. I'm gonna go. I think we ought to go ahead and wrap this up, and then you and I can discuss Pulpit Fest, and I can let you get on with your evening. But anyway, what else do I have to do? I did the MMC, I did the socials, I did all that. You know what? I think it's time that we finally say this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm Trey Mac.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. I mean it. I'm going to go over old episodes and track out the stories that you've teased and never told. We're going to have to do a mega episode where you just like sit and just tell all kinds of stories.
The long one is the one where I had to sell a sheep to go to Vegas, and we stole a van, and I ended up trafficking a girl back to the United States, and
Dear God,
that is my best story. It's the longest, but
okay.
There's a lot of layers, and I don't know about some of the if I can be charged for any of those things.
Legality of it all. Well, there's been one story you told on the cast that I did have to cut because we don't get into it. But yeah, I had definitely had to cut that one.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
I know you didn't know, but that's the federal crime. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. So anyway, well, sir, take it easy,
dude. What was your idea for? Are we done? Is this show over?
I'm gonna hit the button in a second.
I thought it was done. I was about to talk about
no. So
all right.
Zip, take it easy. Okay, that's off.
Okay, you can't talk about me trafficking people. That's got to be cut out of there.